Today I would like to introduce you to comparative advantage. When you work together, you may wonder about the division of roles. Recently, one of the managers of a company said the following to me: "My employees are certainly working hard, but I think it's faster for me to develop a business strategy and to do sales." At home, too, you may say, "I can do the housework and childcare faster. But that doesn't mean you have to push me to do everything." This may be the cause of a quarrel. How should work be divided in such situations? Today I would like to introduce the concept of comparative advantage. Let's consider a simple case like the one in the table. First, there are two tasks. One is to develop a business strategy. The second task is to go to the sales department to get contracts. There are two characters: the president and an employee. As shown in Table 1, the president needs 4 days to develop the business strategy. Since the president is a self-made man and good at selling, he can get an average of 1 contract per day. On the other hand, the employee is not good at developing business strategies, so it would take him 10 days to develop a business strategy. Let us also assume that if he goes into sales, he can get a contract in 3 days on average. It is true that the president of the company would be more efficient in both cases. Of course, the salary should be higher, but let's ignore the salary issue for a moment and focus on how many days it would take. In this example, the president is better at both developing management strategies and obtaining contracts. In this case, the president has an absolute advantage. However, if we say that the president should do both, there is only one position. This is where the concept of comparative advantage becomes important. First, the president takes 4 days to formulate a business strategy. That is 4 times longer than it would take to go out and win a single contract. In contrast, employees are not good at developing business strategies, so they take 10 days to develop a business strategy, but this is about 3.3 times as long as it takes to win a single contract. Therefore, it would take the president 4 times as many days to get 1 contract. For an employee, it takes about 3.3 times as many days. In this case, the employee has a comparative advantage over the president in developing management strategies. What about sales activities? Now let's look at the issue of developing a business strategy as a criterion. It takes the president 1 quarter equals 0.25 times as many days to get a contract as it takes to develop a business strategy. On the other hand, it took the employee 10 days to develop the business strategy, so the employee can get a contract in 0.3 times as many days as it takes to develop the business strategy. Therefore, the president has a comparative advantage over the employee with respect to sales activities. Let us now consider the assignment of tasks. The conclusion is that each person should be assigned to a task in which he or she has a comparative advantage. In this case, the employee is in charge of business strategy and the president is in charge of sales, which is a hard-to-believe assignment, but it will lead to more efficient results. Let's find out. Let's say the president delegates the task of developing business strategy to the employees. This would save 4 days of time. In those 4 days, the president can win 4 new contracts. For the employee, the number of days needed to win 4 new contracts is 3 by 4, or 12 days, so even if he takes 10 days to plan the business strategy, he still has 2 days to make changes. This increases the overall efficiency of the business. British economist David Rickard argued for the comparative cost theory, which states that the economic welfare will increase when each country specializes in the production of goods in which it has a comparative advantage. Now let's change the numbers a bit. How will the tasks be assigned this time? Let's look at comparative advantage. First, let's think about developing a business strategy. You look at how much time it takes to get a contract versus how much time it takes to get a contract. The president can develop a business strategy in 4 times as many days. In contrast, it takes an employee 5 times as long to develop a business strategy. Therefore, the president now has a comparative advantage. Similarly, if we consider the acquisition of a contract to be based on the development of a business strategy, the president can achieve this in 1 quarter of the time and the employee in 1/5 of the time, which means that the employee has a comparative advantage in this case. This is more in line with our everyday sense. Table 1 was just a number to get everyone interested. In the example we have considered here, we have not included factors such as the hourly wage of the president or employees, or their growth through experience. Some may find this unrealistic, but I think the essence of the theory is very useful. Today I introduced comparative advantage in economics in everyday life. See you again. Thanks for watching.